For the newbies out there, trust me, it will be a great decision if you want to be an Android developer. So the first place to start from is for you to understand the stack. Right? What do I mean by the stack? Right? I mean, what are the languages that you need to learn for you to be an Android developer, right? So one of them is Java, right? You need to learn Java language if you really want to be successful in Android development. It is not important that you learn Java because Java is now depreciated in Android. The official language for Android development right now is Kotlin. However, Java is the foundation for Kotlin, right? So when you learn Java,
Sorry, what did you do for that?
sorry,
You said the official language is what?
it's Kotlin. Kotlin.
Okay, Kotlin. Okay.
Yes. The official language right now is Kotlin. So when you learn Java, you become good at Kotlin, right? When you learn Kotlin, you might not be able to write Java. I don't know if that makes sense because Kotlin was written out of Java. They brought out Kotlin they simplified Java and called it Kotlin. All right. So if you learn Java as a foundation, then switching to Kotlin will be very, very easy for you. And there are some challenges that you come across when you're writing Kotlin. With your experience as a Java developer, then you'll be able to solve those challenges. All right. So that's one. So along the way, probably if you're very solid with Java, you don't even have to be very solid with Java, but if you are comfortable with Java, then you can then learn Kotlin and you can start writing your Android application with Kotlin. And basically you use the Kotlin to write the backend side of Android development. The front end side, before now they use XML, but right now they now use Jetpack Compose. All right, so they use Jetpack Compose right now, which are composables, and they are very, very easy. And I prefer them to XML. I mean, from the first time I wrote Jetpack Compose, I never went back to XML. All right, and that's because of how easy it was. It was very, very compatible with Kotlin. All right, it was very, very compatible with Kotlin, and how it just makes your life easier. You don't have to necessarily build for multiple screens. Again, unlike when you are writing XML, you have to build for smaller screen, bigger screen, tablets, and the rest of them. But with Compose, you just have to write one solid code, and it works fine across all the screens and all. So you need to learn, like I said, learn Java first. After learning Java, then you can learn Kotlin. Once you learn Kotlin, you learn Compose. So you basically use Compose and Kotlin. So Kotlin for your backend, Compose for your UI. All right, Compose for your UI. Once you learn those things, basically you have to learn some database as well. The most popular one is SQLite, right? SQLite, learn SQLite. With your knowledge of SQLite, you can use Room database perfectly for Android development. Now, Room database was configured out of SQLite specifically for Android development. All right, so it's easier for you when you use Room database when you are writing Android codes than when you use SQLite itself. But without the knowledge of SQLite or SQL, which people pronounce as SQL, might be difficult for you. All right, then with that knowledge, you can just learn Firebase. So Firebase is owned by Google as well, which is basically your cloud hosting, right? So you can as well have your database on Firebase. You can have your notifications from your Firebase and the rest of them. So I think those are Those are the fundamentals. Those are the fundamentals. The rest of the things that you just need to learn how to do is maybe how to navigate inside an application, right? So if you're moving from one screen to another, how do you do that? How to pass data from one screen to another, right? And stuff like that. So pretty much that's where you start. You figure it out. That's just the simple. That's what you need to get started. You don't necessarily need to have a background in tech before you work in tech. In fact, the way I used to tell people that the tech industry is not an industry that should stand on its own, because tech industry is applicable in every other industry, be it agriculture, be it fashion, be it anywhere at all, engineering, health, tech can be applied in industry. So I don't like to call it an industry. It's like an application. It's like an application. So no matter your background, you can still jump into the tech field. I've not used my certificate to do anything since I graduated. I've not used my certificate to do anything at all, right? But then there are professional certifications that are going to give you an edge. Obviously, if you have a background in tech, probably study computer science or information technology like I did, or information management systems, and the rest of them, software engineering, they will make you to have a very solid background. All right. But then someone who is self-taught or who came from another background can even be better than you in these things if they put their mind into it, right? If they put their mind into it. So, but there are professional certifications that you can have that can help you in landing a job, right? That can validate your knowledge within the tech space, like having a Java Oracle certification. That's Java certification from Oracle itself, right? That's that's one of the biggest certificates that you can earn in tech space. Also, some Google certification in cloud computing, Google certification in data science, certification by Amazon as well can also help you to validate that you actually have this knowledge, because you're going to go through series of exams, series of tests that validate that yes, you actually know these things before you get certified, and they are very expensive. That's one thing that you should know. They are very, very expensive for you to sit for those certifications. They are very, very expensive. So when you pass them, definitely you are telling the world that I'm probably one of the best at this thing. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so when it comes to learning as a self-taught developer, I used to say YouTube is the university on its own, right? Anything that you want to learn right now is available on that platform. Go to YouTube, you're going to see a lot of free tutorials on how to do one thing or the other when it comes to tech, no matter the language that you want at all. The only problem I have with YouTube is that the courses are not, how will I say, they are not guided, right? So you don't know what to learn first, you don't know what to learn next. You just be learning up and down, and you can then fall into what we call tutorial hell, right? And basically that's you cycling through tutorials, right? You cycling through tutorials. You've spent 1 year, you're still learning. What are you learning? Right? Because tech is practical. Tech is practical, right? Once you learn for 3 months, maximum 6 months, I don't even know what you're learning for 6 months. Once you learn for 3 months, start building stuff, start working on projects. When you work on those projects, that's when you meet problems, right? That you then solve. When you solve those things, they become part of you. You know how to do them. When you meet that dev again next time, you know how to deal with it. All right. But when you fall into tutorial hell, you just keep on learning, you keep on learning, and there is nothing to show for it. And no matter how you learn, if you've not practicalized it, if you've not put it into work, you know nothing. Basically, you know nothing. So you can make use of YouTube. Also, there are official websites owned by the language that you want to learn, right, that provides tutorials, that provides courses that you can learn, and I would really recommend them for starters, right? Take for example, if you want to start with Android development, you can just go to the Android official website. They have a full course which was arranged, right, created by Google themselves, and they have latest implementations, like latest ways that you can actually do these things. So you can start with them, and they are very free. They are free as well. Then another one is making use of platforms like Coursera, Sites, and the rest of them, which will require you to commit your money, right? It will require you to commit your money, and I would say again, it's another best way for you to learn. When you commit your money into it, then you take it seriously. That's just the tricky part. Anything I really want to learn, I try as much to put my money. If I need a book, I try as much to pay for it, even though I can get the free version online. Like that, I will ensure that I read it, because yeah, it's an investment. I'm putting my money into it, and I would do that. However, I must warn that it is very, very difficult to learn online. You need extra motivation for you to absolutely learn online. All right. So you have to be willing. You have to be committed. Right. You have to be committed. You have to be dedicated to it. However, you can as well enroll with any offline training platforms. We have a lot of hubs in Nigeria right now that are even powered by Microsoft, that are powered by Facebook, like Start Innovation Hub in Uyo, like CC Hub in Lagos, like Vertebra Hub in Lagos Island, that's Lagos Express Road. So there are a lot of hubs, right, where these trainings happens, and within 3 to 6 months, you are done with your learning, and you can start working on your own personal projects that will build up your portfolios. So that's it. Thank you for the question. A portfolio is basically how people validate that and do stuff, right? So your portfolio is basically the things that you've done in the past, right? And you putting them together for people to see that, yeah, this person have experience within this thing. If a company that is into e-commerce wants to hire you, then they want to check out your portfolio to see if you've implemented stuff related to e-commerce in the past, right? Have you done them in the past? How did you implement them? How well can you do them? And you can build your portfolio on LinkedIn. You can as well have your GitHub repository, which is basically a repository that contains all your work, right? Where they can even view your source code to validate that, oh, this was what you did, this was how many changes you made while you were working on this project, these were the challenges that you faced, right? And this was how you were able to solve those challenges, right? So basically going through your GitHub repository and seeing how solid your commits are, right? They can really know that, oh, you have experience in this, you've worked on it. And the interesting thing is that your portfolio does not have to be something big. You don't have to build the next Uber before they know that you're good. All right. If you build a small application that calculates invoices or revenue, right? Definitely, if someone sees that, they already know that, oh, this person can do logics. When it comes to mathematical logic, this person has an experience in writing logics, right? You can build a calculator, right? You can build maps, right? You don't have to integrate it with a very big application. It looks extremely big. Those small things is basically telling them that yes, you have an experience in it, right? They don't need to know everything. They know that, oh, you can solve problems, you can figure things out. However, you've done something like this in the past, which means that if we throw you a bigger version of it, you would be able to solve it as well, right? So don't try as much to fill yourself with building the next Facebook, the next Uber, the next stuff. In fact, you can just probably create an application that shows feed alone, right? Which means you are fetching data from an API. right? And you are displaying it to people in a way that they can scroll through it as if they are reading, they are scrolling through their Facebook feed. All right. So in your case, it could be a news application, right? It's similar. The way you scroll through feeds on Facebook is the same way you scroll through a news application, right? When they click on it, they get to see more details on those on the news, and at the bottom they can see people's comments about that news. All right, you've built something similar to Facebook. You don't need to entirely build the whole Facebook. You could do something that maybe an application that has a like button, maybe an e-commerce application that has a like button, right? Such that when they click the like, they can see the counts that, oh, someone has liked this. Basically, probably that feature is just what you want to express, that, oh, I can do something like this. So you don't really have to be something entirely big, right? While you are learning, just learn a couple of things that matters and use that to form your portfolio. Okay, I think the first one is that the tech space is a get rich quick scheme. That once you get into tech, you would make it, you will survive in it, you'll be rich by next week. All right, so that's probably the biggest one. And you can be in tech for the next 2 years. You've not landed your job. You've not even landed your first job. In fact, you've not seen an internship to start with, right? But all you just have to do, and that's because the industry is now saturated. Yeah. So all you just have to do is keep working on those projects, keep developing yourself, keep building things that will make you stand out, right, among other people. When people see, they know that, oh, this is great, and this person is actually the best at these things. Honestly, all you need is just a job. That's what I keep telling people. All you need in the tech industry is just a job that will change your life around. All right, and it's worth waiting for. It's worth waiting for, right? Once you land that job, and there is this thing in tech when you might wait for 2 years before getting your first job, but when you land your first job and maybe you update your portfolio, your profile, companies will start reaching out to you. They want to poach you, right? They want to poach you. They want you to come and start working for them now. So you just need just one job that will put you that will set you straight. First of all, the job industry is very, very shaky. I kept on saying that it's shaky at the moment. You knowing how to write code is no longer enough, right? You need to learn how to network. You need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to build portfolios. You need to learn how to help people, right? You need to learn how to help people with their projects, right? In fact, one of the easiest way for you to get a job within tech space is via recommendation. Someone recommends you that, oh, you're good. Oh, okay. Someone is vouching for you that, yeah, you are great. In fact, majority of people get jobs, they don't really apply for those jobs. Within the tech space, someone vouched for them, someone recommended them. So try as much to network if you really want to get a remote job. And by the way, working remotely with a Nigerian company and working remotely with a company outside of Nigeria is two different things. It's not the same, right? It's not the same. When you work with a foreign company, it's a lot easier. I don't know, probably it's their lifestyle, right? Probably their lifestyle. You work remotely in Nigeria, they will still stress you. You will still not feel as if you're working remotely. So it's all depending on how you can position yourself, how you can sell yourself as well. And LinkedIn is a very good place for you to do that. And always shoot your shots, right? You never can tell. The CEOs, send them message. The CTOs, reach out to them, tell them what you do and how you can be of help to their organization. So don't be like, this company is too big. Do I have the competence? Don't worry, you figure it out when you start working. You figure it out when you start working with them. Just try as much to know that you understand the basics, structure yourself and position yourself as well, and you would be fine. it would be fine. I mean, one of the solutions I was working on when I was in the business of technology was, helping people to land their dream job, right? Helping people to land job, and we had a couple of issues. I mean, we were able to identify a couple of issues within the entire job space, so to say, right? Because you see someone who is good at writing code, but then you are not employable, right? You have the skill, but you are not employable, right? That's one. Also, you don't have culture fit, right? You don't have culture fit. Probably you have a skill. However, you have 4 kids and you're staying in Lagos mainland. Maybe you're staying in Lagos mainland and you want to go and get a job at Aja. Even when you are the best person for that job, they cannot give you the job. Why? Because they know that by the time you journey from Aja to Lagos mainland, and probably you close by 6, you probably get home around 10, and you have like 4 children at home that you have to go and take care of. Then early in the morning by maybe 5 a.m., you're already coming back to Aja. When you get to work, you cannot be productive. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so these are where even HR managers have issues when it comes to recruitment. When they identify people that can really do the job, then it now comes to will they be productive? Because it's not enough that you can do the job. If you can do the job and you cannot deliver, so what are we hiring you for, right? And honestly, companies don't even want to spend money on training you again these days. They want people that can do the job and probably pay them.
Contribute to the system.
So that's just it. Try as much to position yourself, have the necessary skill, and ensure that you are employable. Ensure that you are employable. If you want to apply for jobs, if you see any job online that did not specify, even a remote job that did not specify that this is a global remote job, you are just wasting your time applying for that job. All right, because a job can be remote but not globally remote. Probably the job is just available for people within Canada, right? So people within Canada, but it's a remote job. That means you're in Canada, you don't have to be coming to work. It's remote. You can work remote. You can work from your home in Canada. But then you see someone that's applied for 100 remote jobs, and you're saying, everyone is rejecting me. Yeah, that's because you did not check if that opportunity is even available for you, right?
Yeah.
This can be remote but not available for you. So always check: is it a global remote opportunity? Is it for what's it called? There's this one they say, is it EMAE or something like that? I've forgotten what they call it, but basically telling you that some regions in Africa, right? Check if your region is part of it, then you know if you should apply for them, and that's how you won't make mistake of just applying for any out job. Also, always know the type of job you want. I think that's where people used to make mistake. I understand, Sha, a lot of people are desperate to get a job, so they just apply for any out job, right? But you can take your time, identify, which industry do I want to work with? Do I want to work in fintech? Do I want to work in agriculture? Do I want to work in fashion? Yeah, look out for those organizations within the industry that you feel you can really do well in, and it will come. Last steps will come. The future of Android development is big, is large. Like I mentioned earlier, there are even lots of new innovations that are now coming into place right now. I mentioned foldables, I mentioned flips. So how is it that you can fold a phone, right? And when you open it up, everything becomes more expanded, everything becomes more larger and all. And the state changes, and that's one. It's becoming much more advanced. Also, I forgot to mention most of the smart TV you use are Android as well. All right, so we have Android TVs. Yes, so there are Android TVs, and as an Android developer, you create applications for those stuff, right? You can have your own custom. In fact, as a developer, you just have this ability to just bring something to life. You can have your own version of calendar and customize it the way you want, because yes, why not? You can do it. All right, you can do it. So why not? I don't necessarily have to use Google Calendar if I feel they are spying on me or choking their eyes to my privacy. I can build my own version of it and it's work fine, right? Do whatever I want to do. So we have Android TVs, we have smart TVs. You can work with big companies, Ford, Tesla, and the rest of them who are really pushing for driverless vehicles and electric vehicles, right? So most of what they are doing are being powered by Android as well, right? They are powered by Android as well. So that's another opportunity. There are people that, in fact, they only work within the autos, right? That's what they do. They are only in the autos. If you tell them come and work in fintech, they'll be like, "What are you talking about? What is fintech?" Right? Right? So, in fact, even within the power sector as well, tech is there. Anywhere you go, there's tech. I mean, all those indicators. I was still discussing with a friend yesterday, and I was like, this one that our national grid is always, collapsing in Nigeria. Is it that they don't have like a software that is monitoring when this thing is weak and it's about to collapse, or there's something sending an indicator that something is wrong somewhere or something? Like, so in my head, I was already calculating. Oh, what does it really look like? I mean, I'm not in the power sector, so I don't even know how they bring light and take light. But what would that look like, and how can we create a solution for that? And that my friend, got on the call with someone who works within the power sector, and in fact, it was a very, very interesting conversation. He does not have the answer because he does not know how the power grid works as well. But he was able to tell us how they used to bring light and take light, and we're like, it is funny. It was like they basically used to turn on the switch and off it. I was like, so who is the crazy person that will just flash the lights? So it's crazy, and I mean, that's the tech for you. So the future of Android is very, very big. It's applicable to everything. If you're working as an Android developer, you could be working within the X sector as well, because your smartwatches are even doing a lot of health related job than tech jobs, right? You can as well work. Another place you can work is, like I said, within the power sector. I've forgotten what they call these guys now. But basically, all these people that build all this solar light and stuff like that. So
renewable energy.
Yes, renewable energy. So renewable energy is very, very big, and tech is at the forefront of it. Tech is at the forefront of it, right? So also, I almost forgot IoT. So with the emergence of 5G technology, IoT is really going to explode very, very soon. And IoT is basically Internet of Things, right? That means everything can easily be connected. I can control my AC to start cooling my house when I'm already driving to my house, probably when I'm coming back from work, right? I can wake up in the morning, and because of how the weather condition looks, my bedroom is preparing hot water for me, right? And immediately I enter the bedroom, my vehicle has started warming up by itself, preparing to drive me to work, right? And once I'm out of my house, all the lights goes off to conserve the energy. So that's basically Internet of Things. You're not doing anything, all these things are just interacting by themselves. And trust me, Android will be at the forefront of it. Also, robotics, Android is going to be at the forefront of it as well. And we're going to see a very large use case when it comes to production industries, where you have to like carry heavy metals and stuff like that, where you typically have to use robots to replace humans, right? And basically all these things will be powered by Android in a way. So the future is very large. I mean, I don't see it.
Okay. You mentioned something that caught my interest. I know I was about to end this session, but I just remember, say 5 years back, 7 years back, there was trending nanotechnologies. What happens to nanotechnologies, and what role does Android development have to play in nanotechnology? Also, 2 years ago, it was metaverse. what role does Android play in these two different areas? Do you have an idea?
So nanotechnology, I don't know. I think is one of those technologies that arrived early, right? I think it's one of those technologies that are really more. Then the future is still there. Just like when we talk about blockchain, right? For some years now, we don't really had much about blockchain, and probably the only area that we are hearing about blockchain is within the finance, with Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Yeah, but then these are big industry that will really affect the entire world. So I can't really say much about them right now because they are still unfolding. A lot of people are still trying to understand them, right? I don't even understand what they are, so to say. So there are just a lot of speculations around them. But then welcoming ideas that can really change the world, right? And those are the things that we should be prepared for, all right? You made mention of metaverse as well. We are already seeing that playing out. All right, we're already seeing that playing out. Meta, which is the parent company for Facebook, Instagram, and the rest of them, they are currently spending a lot of money within that. I mean, on building metaverse and all. And we can see Apple. They recently launched their I've forgotten what they call that stuff now. I don't know why I'm forgetting a lot of things today, but they recently launched one of their technology that is not out yet. Though people have started pre-ordering it, but the production, I think the production has started, but it will be on sales starting from February next year, right? So that's another metaverse, and their own is that instead of the approach Facebook is taking is that you build your avatar and you can go to the metaverse, right? But Apple is coming with an approach that you can actually be your own avatar. You don't have to build another avatar and go to somewhere, which I feel is a better approach, right? So I can be seated here and I'm somewhere else, right? My avatar does not have to be the one to go. Okay. So, however, we don't know what the future will say for them. And one thing is that these technologies are definitely going to be very, very expensive. They are going to be very, very expensive to use. Yeah. So I mean, with the new iPhone 15, we can see that they are now using a titanium frame, right, for their phones to manufacture their phone. But I asked a friend, why is that they didn't think of using it all this while? And he said to me that they thought about it, but titanium is very, very expensive, right? So automatically, if they can actually produce a phone that is not breakable today, but can you pay for it? That's just
Wow.
materials are very, very expensive. Messi. Messi.
All right.